What's going on here? Oops.
All right.
Is that intro finally over?
Actually, we have a third version.
Oh, okay. Hold
Just
on
wait
here.
for that one.
I'll wait here.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. Talent, please hold. Can never get professional help.
What's one of those warm up things that they do? They're like
Lemon face.
you know, lemon face. Ooh. Ooh, kumquats. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm shut.
Oh man, so it's been a long time coming, huh, Clay?
Whoa, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, you know. Who I
know who you are.
You know.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Clay Dog.
Hey.
Hello.
Check it out. It's Joel from Nerd Junkies.
Hey, what's up?
How about that?
How you
Hey.
doing?
How's everybody doing? I'm Clay. We also have Mel, special guest.
Yes.
OG,
Hello.
triple OG.
Also, your mod on the chat. So if you got anything important to say on the chats, then go right ahead. She'll let us know if it's worth anything or whatnot.
You know.
Exactly.
So like make it pop. You know, like pizzazz
Yes.
is what we want here.
Yes, we usually take chat comments in the form of compliments, and then we'll just go.
or monetary compensation.
Yes. There
Also,
you go. Yes.
also very, very accepted here. That's fine too.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Game News Live. V3, I'm going to call it Game News Live V3. This is our third iteration of Game News Live.
Yeah. I'm
Across the-
gonna call it like
Mine is very
beta
low, by the way.
version 5.
V5.
Yeah, B5.A, if that's a thing, I guess.
Game News Live Part 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Yeah, something like that. That'll work.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently, I'm sorry to interrupt. Umbras is saying Clay may be a little bit low.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no, he was saying that Clay's actually a little bit high, and then I can only hear Clay, Joel, and Mel, but they are low. So I think I've already adjusted Clay now, so he should be good. Not so loud, but not to the point where he can't drown us out with his voice.
Mm.
Ha! My booming voice. Boy.
Yeah, so we're still working on the entire kinks of this this stream, but we can get started with some of the game news, some of the game releases that are coming out this week or that have already come out, and things that we think that our community is going to want to know. So if you haven't joined our community, nerdjunkies.com, check it out. We also have our Discord server up right now. You can join that up if you so choose to enjoy more Nerd Junkies after this. Not live.
If you
Right
would like
now.
to engage in a Discord, if you will.
Indeed. Yes.
You know.
I'm going to have to look that up.
I don't get it. Whatever. It's, computers. Clay, you're stupid. Got it.
Computers.
I'm a computer. All right. So we have, let's just get this started. Game News Live. You guys remember us from like 27 years ago when we basically invented game streaming, but whatever. It's
whatever, green screen, dancing, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God, the dancing competitions. I think I'm still the undisputed champ on that.
I think so, because you only faced off one other like community group.
And I won.
And you won. That's true. That is true.
Exactly. Fat guy dancing. Dance Central like 1 and 2. It was at the time.
Dude,
Poison.
That was fun. I have to admit that was super fun when we did it.
I still defend those games. When everybody talks smack about how like stupid Connect is or anything like that, I'm like, but have you played Dance Central? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, then you have no clue what you're talking about because those games are awesome.
Yeah. I'm kind of a pro, but whatever. We can teach you.
I mean, I'm basically the champ, but whatever.
Oh my goodness. So, let's get started. Usually we like to do a format of new releases that have been that have already come out or are going to come out soon. So this one came out yesterday, Clay? This one's
What
for
is
Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
came out this week? Yeah, it came out yesterday. Technically, it's like similar to movies. Anytime there's like it comes out on Friday, it means it comes out on Thursday afternoon for most people. So but its grand release was yesterday. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. I don't know about you guys. I'm just going to put this out there. Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2, back in the PlayStation days, late 90s, early 2000s, those games were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if we needed another one. Like, I don't know if there was this overarching need for like, hey, you know what? I could really use another Crash Bandicoot game, which is the exact same game as all the others.
But this time HD.
Yeah, so, okay, like, they released that like upgraded version of Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Back like a year ago or something like that, like the Insane trilogy, where it's like the upgraded graphics and everything like that. It was cool. It's one of those things where it's like, oh great, I love Crash Bandicoot, let's play those.
Right.
I just don't know if there was this like, hey, now we need 4 or 5 or 6 or anything like that, because there's not much difference in these games, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be the first person to say I have not played 4 because it just came out yesterday, but even these hands-on reviews I've seen, they're just like, it's good. I just don't really need more Crash Bandicoot when 1, 2, and 3 are already there. It was, to me, it was just kind of like okay, well, good for them. I hope there's some Crash super fan out there who's like, yes, this is my time.
Well, it would be under this. It would. I would imagine it would be the same people who are like Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter. Those kind of people that were just enjoyed the animation or the nostalgia of it all, that they're going to be able to play Crash Bandicoot again.
But and on the nostalgia thing, that would be where that Insane trilogy comes into play.
Right.
Like I said, good on anybody who's a diehard Crash Bandicoot fan. I love the commercials from the 90s, like where he's like trolling Microsoft and like Nintendo all the time.
Hilarious.
And Sega. Yeah, and they brought a lot of those back, and now it's like the same goofy mascot outfit, but with like a face mask.
Yeah,
and it's so dumb, and like love those. I think they're hilarious. Crash was always like a great non-official Sony mascot because Sony didn't really have one here in the United States. Like in Japan they do, but over here it was always just like
Crash
Spyro. Crash Spyro. Let's put Kratos up there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like whatever.
It was like Sony's Sonic, right?
Kinda, yeah.
So Crash Bandicoot out on October 2nd, yesterday, for PS4 and Xbox One. You can check out the trailer. Mel, if you could just post that trailer on there, you can check out the trailer for it. It looks pretty cool. I like the facial animations and where they've come from. But yeah, you're probably right. Who is this for? Because I don't know if the chitlins nowadays would appreciate this half as much as anyone else who's at 35 at this point.
That's a good point, though, because for the chitlins, they're probably going to be the best receivers of this. Because, like, let's say you, Joe, I know you have 19 children of your own, so
20 now. Yes.
Oh my God! And you know what? 20 was like right then.
Yeah.
Okay.
21 is now on the way. It's in progress.
Exactly.
I need more Vespian gas.
Needs more Vespian gas. Exactly. No. So for somebody like you, if say you were to buy the Insane trilogy for your horde, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they end up liking it, and they go through 1, 2, and 3. Now you have a 4 you can give them.
Right.
So this is a great use case to kind of bring Crash to a new generation. I'll totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But for all the 90s kids who like loved Crash growing up and everything, the Insane trilogy probably sated all of that. And going forward, they're probably like, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess if you would start them off with 4, maybe that would give them enough of an intro, right? Because at least then they can just be like, okay, well, we're not going back to like super hard game mechanics to where you're gonna die a lot. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know if the kids nowadays have the patience to die that many times.
I remember I was
5 minutes.
Yeah.
What was that, Mel?
I said they would probably quit within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh man. I remember I was watching like a Games Done Quick from like a few years ago. This is like, I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that. And there was a Mega Man speedrun by the speedrunner. His name is Adaf. And it was like this kid. He's like 12 or 13 or something like that. And he's like speedrunning Mega Man, which is an insanely hard game on the NES.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, man, like that's impressive. Like this kid has like learned the game. He learned how to speedrun it. He is way better at it than I am. And I grew up with that hard ass game. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you can get kids into these old super hard games, then that's great.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got one of my daughters into the Kirby Dreamland, and she was just having a hard go at it. But the moment that she
Yeah.
was just like, "No, I'm not gonna quit this. I'm gonna keep on going," and I'm like, "Yes, good.
You just
Keep going."
fastidious.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So next
No, I
on the
totally
list, we got Star Wars Squadron, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
I want to play this so bad to just because I just got a brand new monitor. It's like a super wide, and so now I just
Yeah.
want to see it. Like I know it has support for VR headset, which
It
is
does.
probably another level of just wow, right? But I want to play this so bad, and I think it's $30, right? And it already came out yesterday, October 2nd.
It came out yesterday. Yeah. There's already a few bugs on the PC version. They're already working on patching those. I think since the game's out now, I'm not really breaking an NDA or anything, but I was in the beta test for it like a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was good. It had a few problems because beta testing and everything like that, but not even like bugs or anything like that. A few things that I filled out on my survey and everything, and I hope they fixed. The ships felt really sluggish to like maneuver and turn like on the fly and like really fast.
Would you say that
like-
they had a feeling of actual weight to them, even though you're like in space, or was it more
Even
like
though you're in space,
right? Even though like it,
Yeah.
or was it more of a technical lag?
No, I think it was like maybe the vehicles were heavy for some reason, and which I didn't get why. But hopefully they fix that. And I'll say some of like the voice work and the cutscenes was kind of weird. Like you had like young Leia because this takes place like right after Jedi, so it's like you have like younger Leia, but it was like old Leia's voice,
Right.
and you're like,
that's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And then whoever they had playing Vader, and it was like, I don't even know who this is supposed to be, and that's crazy. But hopefully they fixed all that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing it probably next week. I'm really excited. I'm going to go through it on the PS4. We're going to see how well it goes.
And at first, my impression of this was like, oh, so it's just a multiplayer version for flight sim, right? For Star Wars stuff. Apparently, there's a single player story to it.
There's a campaign. Yeah, the beta test I was in had like one mission of the campaign. It was really fun. It was really good, and all the rest was multiplayer modes. There was 2 main multiplayer modes. It was like there was a deathmatch, and there was this big like objective based one where you're trying to take down like there's like 2 sides, like the Empire and the Republic, or the Rebel Alliance, and you both have these big capital ships, and the goal is to take down the capital ship. And there's like there's fighters all over the place, and there's little like sub ships that you can take down and everything. It was really fun.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well,
so-
that's out now for, I believe, Joe Numbers has actually played some of this already. So that's
That wouldn't
pretty cool.
surprise me at all.
Yeah, he's totally
That guy's
into
all
it.
over it.
I think he
Yeah.
has a VR headset, so I'm kind of interested to see if he has some of that gameplay already out now. But yeah, Star Wars.
I've got a few
Squadron.
buddies I work with who have like basically upgraded their PCs and bought VR setups just so they could play this,
Right.
because of just like of all the hype around it, or they're like old school like X-wing fans or things like that. And it's
You
That's
got
great.
it. You got to admit that is kind of like a childhood dream, just to be able to like get a VR or get into the cockpit, even if it's with a VR headset, and just like
that would be
go
amazing.
ham sandwich on some TIE fighters. You know what I mean?
I don't
Also
have
a rebel.
yeah, I don't have a VR headset myself, but I'm a longtime Star Wars nerd. Like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So I know a few people that I hang out with pretty regularly who have VR sets. So I'm just kind of waiting on them to be like,
Hey, you want to
"Hey,
try
you want to
this?
come over? You want to go check it out?"
Yeah,
But you gotta be
VR.
you gotta be super reluctant though. You're gonna be like, I guess I'll check out my schedule and see what's
I
up.
mean, God, you live like 10 minutes away from me. God.
Okay, well, I guess maybe next. No. Actually, I have some time right now.
No, you know what? Because you want to do this, I'll come over. All right. Doing you a favor here. All right.
Yeah. All right, then. So the other one that we have is Super Mario Brothers 35. And I think
35.
yes. So I did not know anything about this until yesterday, which
Yeah.
a battle royale of the classic Super Mario Brothers where you're pitted against 35 people.
34. Yeah,
34 others.
Yeah,
That's insane. Like,
it's a lot. Yeah, it's fun.
you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
Remember like the Power Glove movie, which was
The Wizard.
the Wizard,
The
and,
Wizard.
and you're basically pitted against like what was it, like 3 people in that whole entire tournament of see
That
who.
was well, there was a bunch of people, but the finals was like when they debuted Super Mario Brothers 3 at the end, it was Lucas the kid. No, Lucas was the Power Glove guy. The kid and Fred Savage's brother and 2 other people.
Fred
Yeah.
Savage. Who's that? Who is that? That's
The
guy-
Wonder Years.
Yeah, the Wonder Years, right?
The mole.
Yeah. Oh, the mole.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
why he
the-
winces whenever it does like a tight shot on his mole. It's like 2 hairs.
Yeah. He was the mole. So yeah, like Fred Savage, it was his little brother who was the wizard, and it was like that was like the debut of Super Mario Brothers 3, and it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, this whole trailer just it makes it look like I just want to play it right now and just
It's a lot of fun.
put my old skills to the test, right, and just see if I can just have at it. But it looks like some things that you do in your game affect other people, right?
Yeah, so the way it's basically for every enemy that you kill, you can send that enemy to another player's game. So like if you just stomp on a Goomba, that Goomba will now float to another player's game as like a ghost Goomba, or they're like grayed out,
Mhm.
but they're still deadly. So like if you just run into them, they'll die. So like there were points in this. So I've already played a few rounds of Super Mario 35. You can choose who you want to send it to. Like at the top, there's like a little like a selector. It'll say like, do you want it to be random? Do you want the most like the person with the most coins? The person with the least amount of time, or there's a 4th one, I forgot what it was, but you can choose that at will. So I've had it where it's like, hey, here's the start of 1-1, and it's just like a string of like 30 Goombas and Koopas.
But
And
then
it's like,
that's also a risk reward system because you have to take your attention away with what's happening on your screen, right? To send that stuff over to somebody else, because it looks like he's just selecting random squares here.
Yeah. So you can choose random, right? So like it'll be like it'll just pick one of the 35 that Goomba goes to, like randomly.
Right.
Or you can say like, no, I want to punish the person with the most coins. Coins trigger kind of like a Mario Kart style jackpot system where it's like once you get 20 coins, you can activate it, and it like flips through a bunch of things. So it'll be like, oh, here's a fire flower for you, or here's a mushroom, or here's a PAL sign, which wasn't even in the first Mario game. But like, here's a PAL, and when the PAL happens, it kind of shakes up everything for everybody. And it's like, and so I've actually been messed up mid jump when a PAL hit me, and it just like I'm like mid jump over a pit, and then PAL hits, and I just fall straight into the pit.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, that sucked. Okay.
Now I want to play it. All right.
Yeah, it's actually really fun.
I guess I'm gonna have to like give my wife the puppy dog eyes to be like, I might need a Switch, babe. I might need a Switch.
Yeah.
Either that or I'll just take my son.
For the kids.
Yeah. For the kids. We'll buy some extra
for the
nunchucks later. Just to see if they take to it.
For the kids.
They'll never
No,
see it again.
Yeah. The game came out on the 1st, so Thursday. It's free if you are a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also one of those weird things where Nintendo says it's only going to be playable till the end of March.
I don't understand that.
And because Nintendo is
because money.
But it's a free game, and yeah, you could say the money is maybe their multiplayer servers.
Yeah.
Like keeping those alive, but it's like if people like it.
Wouldn't you want to continue developing on top of it?
Look, it's a free game. Throw some microtransactions in there. Like, hey, you want to play as Princess Peach now instead of Mario? Boom, $1. Like you want to play as Koopa? Boom, $1. Whatever. Like, just find some way to make some money. You're Nintendo, you're gonna make money. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like they print money.
I think we spoke about this yesterday. Oh no, that was for Yogensha. Look who joined up the chats now, huh? Dragon.
I'm not even looking at the chat.
The dragon fight just joined up.
Oh really?
Yeah. Welcome back. Game News Live.
According to Umbrus Gaming, Joe Numbers has actually played Squadron in VR.
Ooh. So. I might have to check out one of his replays, his VODs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. because being able to look around in the cockpit and just being like, okay, I can see like being flanked from the left or something like that. That is insane.
I would get sick.
Yeah. Worth it. Just give me the bag, put it on the side.
Yeah. Just like endless barrel rolls that you just throw up all over the place. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
It's gonna be a scene from The Grinch. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna throw up and I'm gonna die.
Exactly.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's get on with the game news. We just got done with the releases, but the game news is what you're here for, and that's what we're gonna give you.
Ooh, whether you like it or not.
Well, with consent. So, Resident Evil animated series coming to Netflix, huh? Oh man,
Pretty
And-
cool. So,
and it
yeah,
doesn't have
go on.
Mila Jovovich. Jovovich.
That is okay. Yeah. So this is on the same
Jovanovic.
production. Yeah, Jananovich,
Jan-
Jovovich.
Janimba, whichever.
I don't know.
The
So
wife.
yeah. So when you are watching Resident Evil media, that is not a video game or a comic or anything like that. You've basically got the garbage movies, and then you've got the CGI stuff.
Right.
And the CGI stuff has always been pretty solid.
Right.
And so this is that side of it. That's like this is that production company. They've done 3 movies so far. Full disclosure, I've only seen the first one.
Which one?
It's like Regeneration or Degeneration or something like that.
Degeneration. We got Damnation
Degeneration,
and
yeah.
Vendetta.
So I saw Degeneration back when it first came out. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. Not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. It was nowhere even closely related to the terrible movies that they make. Like
Yeah.
the Paul Anderson, Mila Jovovich ones that are just the worst anything ever. Joel actually forced me to go see one of them one time, and it was like I almost died in the theater. I almost died.
Yeah. Funny
was
fact:
the worst.
hog tying is actually a really good skill set.
Yes. You wouldn't think that would come in handy. Yeah. No, it was so. I'm actually excited for this. I think this has potential to be really good.
Yeah.
So like whenever this does air, it's going to be like, oh wow, new Resident Evil episode, yay, let's watch this. Or if they're just going to release the season and just binge it, or like Castlevania, or all those other ones.
Yeah, another very good series that I liked, Castlevania.
I saw season 1. I thought it was great. But I've always been a big fan of Castlevania 3 on the NES, and that's basically the story that they're following in that. So I was like, this is
Right.
awesome. Like
Right.
this is great.
So the other thing related to this is that there's also a live action show coming to Netflix, and they haven't announced when or whatnot. The only other information that we have is that Jade Wesker and Billy Wesker, in some sort of association to possibly Albert Wesker. I don't know what's
We
going
don't
on
know.
there.
So if you know the whole Resident Evil storyline and everything like that, like I think it was one of the DLCs of one of them. I don't know. I forgot what it was, but it was either in part 6 or in one of the DLCs where they talk about. So in part 6, you had like Wesker's like his clone or his son or something like that. That game was terrible, so I don't even remember. But it was like, and then there was also the Wesker Project was revealed, where there was like a whole slew of Wesker.
Right.
And it's not even like just Albert anymore. And so these 2 that are in this, they could be daughters, they could be clones, or they could be part of the Albert Wesker project that somehow survived. Like we have no clue until this thing releases.
Right.
The Dragonfly is mentioning the Monster Hunter movie trailer.
I just saw it from a little like ad, but I have not taken a look at it like full screen or anything like that.
I
which,
will say this: it is basically just going to be a rehash of like the Resident Evil movies.
That right there. And you know why though?
Mm-hmm.
because Mila's in it,
Yep.
And do you know why Mila's in it?
because Paul Anderson's in it.
Paul Anderson is writing and directing this movie, who is the hack who put together the Alien vs. Predator movie and the Resident Evil slew of disasters. This is now his new project. Some fool gave him money and said, oh yeah, I think you want to make a Monster Hunter movie, right? And he's like, absolutely. And I get it's going to have nothing to do with anything in the Monster Hunter series. Granted, they're not really known for their elaborate storylines anyway. It's literally like,
Perfect.
go kill that thing. Game over. You know, it's like, which I like Monster Hunter. I've liked it for years. Monster Hunter World was amazing, great game. But this is one of those things where it's like, even though Monster Hunter doesn't really have a story, I fear for this movie. Yeah. I think it is going to be as a Resident Evil sized disaster, which means it's going to be a terrible movie that probably makes a lot of money.
But tell me how you really feel, Clay.
No.
All right.
That guy is such a terrible. This is like Shyamalan level bad filmmaking.
Oh yeah.
Welcome, Miss Peaches 79, by the way.
Yeah. Welcome. Brand new.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I tip my bald head to you.
Yes. So Yakuza's in the news again, right? We finally got some information about minimum system requirements for the PC version, as well as some information on the PS5 version coming soon, right?
That was the main meat and potatoes of this article. But before we get there, Joe, since you are my representative for the PC gaming community, looking over these specs, are we happy? Are we sad? Are these acceptable? Will anybody have to go through some big upgrades to play this, or are we pretty safe?
You know what? It's actually pretty easy to run this thing. If you're taking a look at it, like most of your things are going to be most of the things that you're going to want to take a look at here is obviously processor, memory, and graphics, right? And you're basically talking like about a 3rd gen i5, which is super old, or the equivalent of an AMD FX 8350, which came out almost 10 years ago. So for a processor, if you have something like that or above, you should be fine. For memory, it's 8 gigabytes minimum, which again, most computers are going to have nowadays. So you should be fine there as well. If not, you probably have a dinosaur. You need a couple of upgrades. And then for the graphics card, GTX 660 again came out maybe 6 years ago. You should be fine. For anything else above that, you should be able to run it. No problem. They are recommending a 1060, which came out 2016, 2017. Minimum. Not bad. You should be able to run it. But I'm more interested about what this whole PS5, PS4 situation is going.
So, like I said, the meat and potatoes. Side note, if nobody's played the Yakuza series, so Cinderkin, who's not here today, turned me on to this series. Like, we were hanging out like a year or two ago or something like that. And I think it was after Kiwami 2 had just come out. And he was playing it and he's like, oh yeah, I think you'd really like this series. So he let me borrow Yakuza 0, which is always on sale now. So if anybody ever wants to get into that series, Yakuza 0 is always like $5. Like, it's on sale like every other day.
Right.
That is possibly one of my top 10 games of this generation. It is like, Yakuza 0 is such an amazing game. I instantly fell in love with it, and I burned through the entire series.
So I was like, I
love this series.
Is it because the story, or is it something else? Gameplay? What is it that got your hooks into it?
It's basically, okay, so if anybody who's known me for a long time, my favorite video game of all time is River City Ransom on the NES. It's the 90s brawler formula, like a Double Dragon type game or like a Streets of Rage. But they added like RPG elements into it. So there's like money system, there's stores, there's upgrades, there's stats, all that stuff. But the game plays like just a beat 'em up. And it's great. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Right.
And then I'm playing Yakuza, and you go into it and you're this serious dude in Japan and you're running around. And Zero's the only one that had this, but it was good enough that it kind of sucked me in. And so in Yakuza 0, it's a 3D world, think of like a GTA style game. It's a big city. Not even close to the size of GTA. It's really confined, but you're running around. You have this crazy storyline that you're following, but you get into fights all the time. People on the street, like you're there to step in and help somebody out or punish somebody or whatever. And whenever you beat people up, showers of money.
Right.
And I was like, just like River City Ransom, you beat somebody up, they die, they turn into money. And I was just like, and then as you go through the game, you go into stores, you buy food items so you can heal yourself up. There's a stat system that you spend money on buying new upgrades and things like that. I was like, oh my God, it's like a new version of River City Ransom. Like, this is so good. And then I also connected the dots of thinking, this is what Shenmue should be. But that's a whole nother side topic there. But Yakuza, it's just a really good series. And the storylines are just out there because Japanese writing. It's like picture like all the insane Japanese stuff that like Kojima or like all the other RPG writers get into, and then just add like smacking people in the faces with motorcycles. And you're like, what?
What?
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
just I fell in love with the series. But this whole story is basically Microsoft made some deal with Sega, who publishes the series. It's made by Ryuga Gotoku Studios in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But Sega's like, they own it. It's theirs. So they made some deal. So Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is the new one, comes out. Technically, it's Yakuza 7, but it's just called Like a Dragon. Yakuza Like a Dragon comes out on launch day for the Xbox Series X. And similar to what Microsoft is doing right now, they're doing all of these, like, if it works on the Xbox One, it'll work on the Series X. Like, that's it. It's like 1-to-1. Like, you put the disc in the either one, or you buy a digital download and you launch it on either one, it works. It's the same game.
No texture updates or anything like that? No.
So it's like, basically, when you put the disc in, and this has kind of been how it's going on like the PlayStation and the Xbox One for a while now. When you put the disc in, it basically starts a download that downloads the game.
Oh, okay. So it's
it's
just a proxy file.
It'll install assets off the disc as needed, but then for the most part, it sucks down the whole game. And the disc is mostly used as like a license key at that point. So like if you don't have that disc in your drive and you try to start Yakuza, it'll say, please enter disc. It's like that way it just clears, oh yes, I own this game. Here it is. Now you launch. But yeah, if you put it into Series X, it'll put in all the 4K super, like whatever the code is that makes it load super fast or anything like that. It'll do all that. If you put in your Xbox One or your Xbox One X or S or whatever, it'll play like that.
Okay.
And because they're essentially the same kind of system, it's the same save file. You can transfer back and forth. Like if you have an Xbox in your bedroom, like a One in your bedroom, but the Series X is on your main living room PC, you could just use that same save file off both systems.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they had some kind of timed exclusivity with Microsoft and Sega making a deal on that, because the PS5 version of this game doesn't even come out until the spring. So the PS4 version will be out in November, but the PS5 version is in spring. And with that, they've already said your save file will not transfer from the PS4 to the PS5. So it'll have an upgrade path. So if you were to put that disc on that PS4 disc into your PS5, it'll play the newer version of it, the pretty 4K graphics and everything like that. But you're starting over
on Xbox,
on the PlayStation 5.
Oh, wow.
So Xbox is 1-to-1. It's basically saying like, if you have an Xbox One or a Series X, it's the same game. It's just different load times, different graphics, but it's the same save file, and it's a free upgrade. PS5 said there's going to be an upgrade from the PS4 to 5, but they're not carrying your save file over. And this is something that we've seen recently, where like this has been happening to a few games now. Like Spider-Man on the PS4, not Miles Morales, but Spider-Man, the one that came out in 2018, will not use the same save file if you buy the Ultimate Edition Spider-Man on the PS5, even though it's the same game.
But it's not due to any additions to the game itself, is it? It's literally a 1-for-1 as far as all the mechanics and everything. Like we're not talking about like hey, there's a new storyline, so everything breaks if we don't do something with the save.
It's the same game. Now, granted, there's a new Peter Parker.
Sure, that's just a brand new graphic skin and whatever and model, whatever.
It's just a character model, yeah. So, but that's it. It's the same game. They haven't put anything else into the game. They're just saying. Like me, I have Spider-Man on the PS4. It's the Game of the Year edition, all the DLC, everything like that. Right. If I put that into my PS5, it'll play the PS4 version on my PS5. But if I want to play new Peter, fancy Ultimate Spider-Man, I have to buy that disc, or I have to buy that game for $70. And it's like, but I already own it.
Yes, you're paying for the new character model.
Yeah, this is where I know it's popular to like hate on Microsoft and Xbox and everything and be a Sony fanboy and everything like that. This is where like Sony doesn't have the best reputation for treating their fans correctly, but nobody sees that. They just go, oh, God of War, great. Ooh, Last of Us. Yeah, Sony's the greatest. Sony. And it's like, oh, Microsoft, what do they have? Forza? Nobody cares. Lol, Microsoft. Microsoft is giving so many good things to gamers right now.
Dude,
and it's just like
not only that, but like just the inclusion of crossplay with Nintendo stuff is just like, why not?
Crossplay with Nintendo stuff Yeah, like first party games, Minecraft, Ori and the Blind Forest, the new Ori, Will of the Wisps, they're on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft is on a PlayStation. It's like
Right.
Microsoft is basically saying like they've fully taken on this like subscription model, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like where they're basically saying, look, I don't care what you play it on, as long as you're playing it, we make money.
Right.
You know, which is why like this whole Bethesda deal, like the ZeniMax thing that they did. I think they're still going to keep all those games on the PlayStation anyway.
Yeah,
Like everybody's
they're
like
still gonna publish.
they're gonna take Elder Scrolls away from PlayStation people. It's like I don't think so.
Yeah.
They would be foolish to do that.
If anything at all, they would just be exclusives that you get on that game on the Xbox version that you just don't on PlayStation. But PlayStation's been doing that forever. Look at what they did with Destiny, any of the Destiny. Like you got an entire mission because you got it on PlayStation rather than anything else. Even the PC. The PC never got that.
They never got it at all, or I thought it was a timed exclusive. And
oh yeah,
I don't play
it was
Destiny,
a timed.
so I'm
It
asking.
was a timed
Yeah.
exclusive, and then you eventually got it. But that's
Yeah.
the point, right? It's like, okay, well, you're just gonna wait a little bit, and just because you happen to own this console, hey, great on you. You get to have access to this with no extras, so you're good. I just don't
But yeah.
see. I just don't see this like being a huge issue in the long run just by them buying Bethesda. I don't see it.
No, I think they already have that Starfield game, which is going to be. I think they already said that's going to be an exclusive anyway. But that was already planned. That was like already in the books.
Right.
So everything else that's been like Doom, Wolfenstein, if there's a Dishonored 3 or whatever, it's like all of like Elder Scrolls, all those franchises, I don't see them doing any exclusivity on that. I think it's going to be across the board because even if you play it on a PlayStation 5, Microsoft gets money.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
like
Preston 101 says Microsoft feels like it accepts that it can't contend with Sony's exclusives. Instead, they are moving forward with crossplay and Game Pass, which I respect.
Yeah. I don't
pivoted.
argue
Yeah.
with that statement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure, you don't have all the exclusives, but exclusives are the reason why it's just so toxic out there with the whole like hey, I have to buy 2 different systems just to be able to play some of the quality games. It's like, and then not only
Yeah.
that, but I have friends that I can't play with because they can't afford so many different consoles. Why not?
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
yeah. Microsoft pivoted because the Xbox One couldn't contend with the PS4.
I mean?
I get that. I have both. I love both, but it's like, yeah, clearly the PS4 was the winner of this last generation. But since then, I just don't think Microsoft cares anymore. Like
Yeah.
they will sell you an Xbox
Yeah.
and they will sell you anything you want as long as you're playing Game Pass
Right.
and as long as you're playing their games.
And then
They
you,
make money anyway.
and then you add on the EA games like I mean, granted,
The
it's
EA Play.
EA Play. It's not like the exclusive stuff, like where you get to have like extra or early access to certain games or full games at the very beginning of their release. But still,
Yeah.
there are quite a few games on there that I'm just like, all the Battlefield 3, 4, like you might enjoy playing something like that, and it's just like you just didn't have a
Yeah.
chance to do it before. You know what I mean?
If you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber and you get EA Play, one thing that they didn't say, and I thought that was kind of a bad PR move on both Microsoft and EA's, it's EA Play, which is their standard subscription model. They also
Right.
have EA Play Plus. EA Play does not get you like day one games.
No.
And that's something that I think they were trying to throw under the rug there, you know, like
Yeah.
like people might be confused on that. EA Play gets you like a whole library of older stuff, which is not bad. Like say you're going through Crisis Remastered and now you're like, oh man, like this series is really good. I should play Crisis 2 and 3. They're on EA Play.
Yep.
You know, like they're there. Like older back catalog games are there. There's a ton of them on there. And there's some really good stuff. But I wouldn't expect anybody to be like, ooh, Star Wars Squadron just came out. I'm going to get that on EA Play. And it's like, not unless you pay another like $5-10.
Yeah.
Then you'll get access to it, you know?
Oh, EA, you're still doing your thing. Still
Yeah.
messing with the
But yeah.
customer.
But yeah, Microsoft is, I think where they are right now is fantastic.
Right.
Like they're doing the Series X, the Series S. Good for them. The Game Pass, I'm a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber myself. I think it's a great service. When they unlocked the xCloud on the phone, like I can now play video games in bed before I go to bed, like on my phone and my controller, and it's great.
Right.
Like haven't had any problems.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
let's
Good on them.
yeah, let's move on to Farmville here and Zynga.
Oh, let me tell you, this was the big story of the
Yeah,
week for me.
I'm heartbroken.
Okay.
I am. I can't believe it.
My mother can
Zynga.
no longer send me any invites to help build her farm.
So I have never played a single minute of Farmville in my life because I tend to avoid Facebook because they're the worst. But like, I remember when this came out, and even that like South Park episode where like stand water your crops or stand water my crops or whatever it was. It was like go what was it go something about his grandma wanted something and I forgot what it was, but it was like that whole episode was so dumb because every time I hear about Farmville and it was like, so what do you do? And it's like, oh, it's this big social thing where you like build a farm and you can go to other people's farm and help them build a farm and all that stuff. And I'm like,
yeah. So it's work.
Is it like Harvest Moon? Because that game is kind of cool. And then it's like, no, it's not like that at all. And it's like, oh,
yeah.
All right. But I didn't even know it was still alive until this news article came out.
That's
and I was
true.
like, Farmville shutting down? Holy crap, that's still around? Like, I wonder how many people out there are like, what?
Oh, noes.
The farm I've had for 15 years is going under?
Yeah, and the one that I haven't logged into for 14 years?
Yeah.
No doubt all your animals would have been dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, this was such crazy news. I was like, Farmville is still around?
I think
and then I was like, I wonder who out there is devastated by this.
Yeah, I think this was like a version 1 game of just social media where it was just enough crack to get people that were just constantly on Facebook to do something else. And it was just it was a wave of things, man. And I remember that I remember when iPhone or Apple had an announcement on their iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And it said Farmville is now available on iPhone. And everyone was like, "Rah!" And I was just like, what is going on here? Like, there's a dedicated app for Farmville now? I was like, all right, cool. But I guess it's not.
If there ever was a killer app to get an iPhone for,
that's it.
Farmville.
Yes, publish it now, please. I'm going to go put on another turtleneck.
All the microtransactions.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's I didn't even know it was still around. I thought this news was awesome.
Yeah, so I guess it's not all bad news because there's a Farmville successor. There's Farmville 2 that's still around.
Is there?
Yeah, so
I didn't even know that.
There's a link on our list here, and I'll put it up on the chats. I didn't even know this existed either. And it's a dedicated app, so now you don't have to do it on Facebook or anything like that, but it's Farmville 2. Tropic something something.
Tropic Escape. Oh, you're basically on an island.
So there you go. I mean, it's not all bad good news.
This is
you can still get your farm on?
Getting shut down. What?
Yeah. No, this is real. Farmville is muertos after, I think, what do they got? November 17th is when it gets disabled, and will continue, and it will only continue to run until December 31st for anyone who's still on it, which is like 5 people on the server, I guess. I don't know.
I wonder if you remember when I think it was when it was Halo or Halo 2's servers or something like that, when they were going to close those down for like the original Xbox. People stayed on it. People stayed on them for like weeks.
How long did that got stretched out? Yeah, how long did that get stretched? And I think it was because of like a clause in the thing of service interruption, or maybe it was just like
something where they were like, if we keep playing, they can't close them down. And to Microsoft's credit, they kept them going way longer than they should have. I think it was Halo 2 or something like that. Like when they were first closing down. Yeah.
That's
like when they first closed down. Oh
crazy.
yeah, because Halo 1 didn't have Xbox Live. Yeah, so it was Halo 2. Probably.
Dude, I remember hearing some stories about like somebody's thing crashed or overheated or something like that, and then they were like one of the last few on the server. I was like, oh man, that was such a bad day for that person.
Just killing your Xbox to make it
to
last.
keep it alive.
Again, Halo 3.
It never gets any easier.
It never. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just
yeah.
So
If
you're gonna have all those standout farm people still on their farms when it gets closed down.
yeah.
Like just raking. Yeah, screw you, Zynga.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Who has a Nintendo Switch in here? Raise your hands on the chat.
Hey.
Hey, I don't, but somebody
Well,
does.
technically you do.
Well, technically, my son has a Switch, and he has the Switch Lite, the non docking one.
Yeah.
Is your son 18 years old?
Yes.
He is?
Yes.
Okay, so then he has a Switch and you don't. Okay, I was gonna say, like, if he wasn't 18, then you have a Switch.
No, I try to use that clause for a lot of things, but that one just didn't make it. He bought it
I was like 18? He's an adult, it's his.
Yeah.
17?
Wait, you said he bought it?
Yeah. But check it
Yeah.
out. I still control the internet. So that router and that MAC address, muertos.
Exactly. You gotta pay rent, and by that I mean give me the Switch.
By the way, I get to delete all your save games so I can start over.
Did you just delete my Animal Crossing island that I spent 4 months on? Be like, yep.
Yep, sure did. Guess you're gonna have to
like
start
streaming.
over, huh? All that replay value. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your Switch. I'm done with it.
See you, bye.
Oh,
yeah, breaking my
man.
heart right there.
Yeah, Wasabi's in the chats. Man, what's up?
What's up, Wasabi?
Yeah, it's been a long
Hey,
time.
Wasabi. BT Dubs, if anybody wants to go check out Wasabi Ice Cream, his channel Gameoverse on Twitch.
Yeah.
He does a weekly podcast, pretty insightful stuff. I've jumped in on a few conversations with him in the past. He's pretty knowledgeable guy. I think his gaming heart is in the wrong place at times because he just doesn't get things every now and then, but good guy nonetheless. I would check them out. Gameoverse.
Wasabi, if you wish to put up a link for your Twitch chat, go ahead.
Yeah, please. We will help promote anybody in the
Yeah.
Nerd Junkies community
Yeah,
all day.
join the community, and we'll get you the access to be able to post up on your promote yourself chat.
Yes.
All right, so let's go on from there. So speaking about more important things than just Farmville, I guess.
Farmville.
So the Nintendo
There's
Switch.
nothing more important than Farmville.
Right, there's a new Nintendo Switch bug, I guess, for battery recommendations that Nintendo just posted on Twitter a little bit ago, and
I thought this would be a pretty good PSA, kind of like, I don't even know if it's a bug or just a general advisory about the health of your Nintendo Switch kind of thing.
yeah, but it's super important. It's super important to make sure that we comment on it, because I'm kind of wondering, like, when was this not found out, or is this stuck to a certain build, right? Like maybe just a different version.
Well, there are two different versions of the Switch, which
Right.
has a different battery.
Right. So Nintendo of Japan, the battery built into the game console may become unchargeable if it has not been charged if it has not been charged or used for too long.
6 months.
6
6
months,
months, right?
Please charge
Yeah.
it once every 6 months. That's
Yes.
crazy. I thought we were done with these kind of bugs. To me,
I was reading the like the article that linked to that, because it's Nintendo Japan. I can't read Japanese, but it was like their article was basically like, hey, so maybe you have multiple Switches, like maybe you have a full docked one, or you have like a Switch Lite that you travel with or something like that.
right?
Maybe that, like, you're at home because of the pandemic and that Switch Lite is sitting in the corner of your room or something like that. So for that kind of use case, so like if you do have a Switch that's not docked, it's not charging, maybe you only use it when you travel somewhere or whatever, just plug it in once every now and then. That's it. That's your use case. Just once a month, just throw it on the charger overnight, unplug it, put it back in the corner, whatever you want.
But you know what that makes me think about it, Clay, is like your collection has a lot of devices that have a CMOS battery, right? And so now I'm wondering, is like for your giant collection, it's like how many of those devices are degrading in quality just for like the same type of bug, right? The
Could
same
be.
issue.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, but honestly, like the last time I thought about anything like this was there was a warning a few months ago for the PSP, where if you like PSP batteries are apparently expanding and they can cause damage to the PSP. So, like, by the way, if you have an old PSP like I do, just break it out, check your battery, make sure it's not blowing up your PSP or anything
the bulging battery, right?
Yeah, the bulging batteries. Yeah, so I broke
into
mine
a
out.
note situation.
Yeah, I broke mine out. It's still fine. So I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, just for your Switch, in case you're not using it all the time and it's not docked or anything like that. Like mine's always docked right next to my TV, so it's like I'm not worried about that. But for anybody else, if you put away your Switch or something, just plug it in once a month. You'll be fine.
Hold on.
You don't say. All that money I spent
all that freeware money.
All that money I put into OBS. And they give me this.
Yeah, it's just not Wirecast.
Yeah. Oh. That was a nightmare and a half. Yeah, third intro, let's go. All right, so Smash Brothers is getting new fighters. And speaking about Microsoft really branching out there, huh? With their IPs and letting other companies take advantage of it. So now you're going to get Alex and Steve in Smash Brothers along with Enderman and I think Zombie.
Zombie?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then recently announced like about a few hours ago, they also stated that there's going to be multiple skins for the Mii fighters. And so now you're going to be able to be like Pig. I think there was a couple of other ones.
There's Travis Touchdown.
Yep. And then
Bomberman.
Bomberman's also now a skin. I think he's Brawler, right? And then the Sword guy is you're going to be able to do diamond armor on a Sword fighter.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool. Now you have Microsoft and Nintendo teaming up on this one.
I invite anybody in the chat or even Mel and Joe, if you all want to hype this or tell us how cool this is or anything like that, I am more than ready to hear it. I've never been a huge Smash fan, and I last time I played Minecraft was when it was in beta. So is this really big news?
So here's the thing: it's not that it's big news for us. I think the majority of it is just the fan base, right? Like you have a huge fan base for Minecraft, and even Sakurai has stated like he has his own creations in Minecraft that he really enjoys, and by all means, like more inclusive. You're tapping into a community there that likes to build and whatnot. But then not only that, the technical aspect of it, because he did state in the video that he had to go back and redesign areas of maps where blocks would make sense, right? Because the characters themselves can still build on top of things, but if you had like slanted places and whatnot, he had to think of him and his team would have to think of ways of being able to stack that properly or react to slopes in certain ways where you probably couldn't build or it broke out or something like that. And so I thought that was super interesting because you never get to take a look at it from like a developer level. But I thought that was more important than the fact that you're just getting skins and characters now. Because at this point, you're more than likely to see some non-Nintendo characters at this point than to see anything else. And I really like the fact that they included Minecraft on here because it's just tapping into another fan base.
Yeah, and I think it was a good move. I know Smash fans in general they just get hyped whenever any new character is announced, like no matter who it is.
Right.
Minecraft is a huge property. It's still going strong. Like
Right.
it makes Microsoft a ton of money. So
Yeah.
it's
I
like
welcome it. I think it's great.
this was a smart move on their behalf. Like I'm not going to say anything bad about that. I'm just wondering out there if we have any Smash people in the in the chat or anything. Is this like are you pumped about this, or was it like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
that kind of thing?
Yeah, both Prison and Dragonfight, unless it's a Fire Emblem character. It's like
Well,
another one. It's like
there were two other skins you
Yet
didn't
more.
mention. One was from the Tower of
Draga.
Draga, Gil, and another one was what was it?
Tower of Draga, that's an old series. Yeah.
It was
Wow.
a creeper skin as well for another Minecraft skin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they announced a creeper skin, which is kind of weird
Mhm.
seeing them walk faster as a me. You know what I mean? It's like now that's even scarier. Just bringing back some sort of like PTSD from just like mining in a dark cave and just turning around and be like, "Oh, hi, I'm about to die," and crap my pants.
Sweet. Yeah. That's
But, yeah.
cool.
All right, so now it's time for Apex Legends, because now we have crossplay coming in on October 6th, I want to believe. Yeah, it starts October 6th. There's new patch, new skins, everything's coming in, but crossplay beta is also coming here. So that's actually pretty cool, because they mentioned
That's awesome.
they mentioned that you're going to be able to do PS5 and Xbox, and on the PC it's going to be through Origin, right? So I think you can only get Apex through Origin on the PC anyway.
Yeah.
There's no Steam or nothing like that variant.
I was gonna say EA brought a
Yeah,
lot of their
EA.
stuff to Steam in the past month, so I don't know if it's on Steam yet or not. But if it's, or which I think Origin, actually that name is going away,
And
and
they're doing
it's
something
EA
new.
Access now or something like that.
Yeah, they announced it like about a month and a half ago that
Yeah.
I got a newsletter or something like that that's saying, hey,
Yeah, I
we're
did
gonna
too.
redo the whole client. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, whatever. No, so that's cool. I know a lot of Apex players, so it's like this was pretty cool news to them. Not that it's going to change much for them, but it's basically just a bigger player base to jump into games with now. So
Yeah.
like more variety. I thought it was a really cool announcement. I was like, good for them.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Like
sure
this whole crossplay thing's taken off, man. It's like, this is great.
Yeah. Especially for right now with the whole like real world situations going on, right?
Mhm.
Like there's no time. Not only was there a depletion in console access at the store because now everything's off the shelf. Like I went to a Walmart and I was looking for something for I think I was looking for hardware for my kid's new computer, and I looked over at the console section and I was just like, where is all this stuff? And
Everybody's
everything
stuck at
was
home.
gone. And I was just
Yeah.
like, maybe they're having issues getting new stock or whatever. It's like, oh no, people bought them. I was like, okay, well, everybody's stuck at home now, so I guess time for video games. And this is
Nintendo
perfect.
Switch was like really like outrageous.
Switch.
I barely even found one like
Yeah.
for my birthday.
The Switch and
Wow.
Animal Crossing were like the hot items at the beginning of all this. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
a lot
right.
of people who never paid attention to video games suddenly started talking to me like during all of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, hey, welcome."
Yeah.
I am
Hey, how are
slowly
you?
seeing like a couple of Walmarts near me actually restocking their Nintendo Switches back. So they're slowly getting back into filling up their inventory.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. All right then. So
That's
aside from new skins and new cosmetics, console players get ready to get slaughtered by keyboard and mouse. Enjoy. All right.
Basically, dude, you know what? That's what happened with Rogue Company when I was playing that. It was like the beta test for all that, which they just made an announcement. I think it actually released. It's like out of beta now or something like that. But yeah, it's Rogue Company was always crossplay like during its beta testing, and it was like, well, time to get destroyed by mouse and keyboard people. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So last one on the list. Who's still under the World of Warcraft? Huh? Who's still dabbing into that a little bit? No.
I've kind of
clean.
calmed down on my addiction.
Yeah.
I've been clean for over 10 years now.
12 steps, people. First, you gotta admit
Yep.
that it's a problem, but we'll
Yep.
go on. If you want a new flavor, right? Well, it's gonna get delayed. Enjoy that.
Yep.
Enjoy that delayed Shadowlands, but you're still gonna get the
Yeah.
pre-patch on October 13th. It looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah, I work with a bunch of nerds, IT guy, that's how it is. And
Yep.
yeah, and we have our little chat room kind of thing. And I saw the article and I'm like, oh hey, by the way, Shadowlands just got delayed. And it's like
What?
it was just like, what? What? People were like losing their minds.
I had plans.
So many plans. It's like,
Dude, I will.
Yeah, they were losing it.
I will admit, when I was on it, like there was planning involved. There was agreements had with certain office members. Like there was possible. I'm gonna be late for work, Clay. Do you mind, taking care of stuff for me real quick? I'll be there eventually. But really, what it was just like, man, it's like 5 a.m. I should probably go to sleep.
Yeah. That's what WoW will do, man. It'll suck you in.
Yeah.
It'll eat your life.
Oh, but wait, let me go check out the auction house. I totally had some things going
Oh my
on that I
God.
gotta check it out. I gotta.
That was the back when I was addicted to WoW. This is back in like vanilla, and it was like, hey, it's like 10 o'clock. You're gonna go to sleep anytime soon? Yeah, hold on. I just gotta turn this quest in real quick. Okay. Turn in the quest. All right, hold on. I just gotta go check my mail real quick. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I just gotta go to the auction house real quick. Hold on. I just want to craft something
10
real quick.
years
Hold on.
later.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, well, it's 4 a.m. and I need to go to work soon. So,
Oh man, dude.
it's like, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I can't go back to a game like that, man. It is painful.
Yeah.
But
I mean, kudos to Blizzard. They made a super addicting game.
yeah.
I will tell anybody. It's like, oh yeah, WoW, that game's gotta suck, right? It's like, no, WoW is an amazing video game.
Mhm.
It is an amazing video game.
Very addictive.
But you don't play it. It's like, I can't play it. Okay, I cannot go back into that.
The judge told me
Yeah.
that I had to stay away 15 feet from a WoW
Yes.
EXE. So
I have been so good for 10 years. I'm not going back. Okay. Yeah.
I have a family now. I have 2 dogs I gotta take care of.
Exactly. No, WoW is a great video game.
Yeah.
I will not talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
Crazy.
always been a fan of their CG intros and everything like that. Those things.
Oh,
are
they're
they've gotten
quality.
better all the
Beautiful.
years, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
like Overwatch rivals some of that stuff just because of their Pixar style animation. But
Yeah,
these things,
it's a different art style.
yeah,
yeah.
but these things are just like art. Every single frame that I look at, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, the WoW stuff is always really beautiful. I don't play it anymore, but I do still follow the story because I think they have like a really cool story progression on that. And so anytime they release one of their new big cinematics, it's always like, oh sweet, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always awesome. But
It's the reason why I
Blizzard-
believe they could actually do. If Blizzard had all the production rights to Warcraft, Warcraft would have been a 10 times better movie.
I think
in my
so,
opinion.
yeah. But at the same time,
Yeah.
the story itself was just
Yeah, that was not good.
I felt like I was watching like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. You know what I mean? It was
Well,
just
everybody
dry.
was expecting World of Warcraft, and it was called Warcraft because it was the first Warcraft game. So it followed that story, but it didn't even fully follow that story.
Mhm.
So it was like, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, well, we decided to change things. And it's like, why? You
Yeah.
had a good story.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Resident Evil, there's no Alice. Doesn't happen. You know?
Hollywood.
Yeah, dude. We gotta make a new character so that way we can typecast this person who has no relation to me whatsoever.
Yeah. It was so dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, WoW Shadowlands delayed later this year.
Yeah. And that's pretty
Yeah.
much it for the game news this week, guys. I don't know if anybody has anything that they want to add to our first episode. And again, if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure you do so, because we have funds in there.
We have Discords. We have Twitters.
Yeah, Twitters.
For some reason, we have a Facebook. I don't know why,
I
but
don't
you know,
it's the thing to do, man. That's just what we do.
Apparently, we're trying to. Never mind. It's over.
I stay on Facebook just for family. That's it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Don't worry about it. Well, eventually, you know what? Eventually,
I'll let you deal with that.
For Facebook, we might just have some merch or something selling on there or whatever. We'll figure it out. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the show. We've been recording this whole entire thing, and I'm just gonna cut it up for small bites later on. But if you want to join the Discord for game night, we are having games. Last night we played the new Left 4 Dead
Left 4
map.
Dead 2 update.
Left 4 Dead 2 map update. Yep, and it was super fun. I think we died so many times. So many times.
I mean, expert level master gamers like us, we only died 47 times in the first 10 minutes. So it was great. All right.
That game is brutal, man. You really get to enjoy that zombie horde randomness that goes on, huh? And
new enemies, new weapons.
I think at the very end there's a highlight clip for us finally getting the boat to go to the lighthouse last night.
Yeah.
And it was right there. Like I had already been pushed off the map by the second tank in the last like 5 seconds, and then everybody else was like, Mel was out on front about to get to the boat and whatnot. Nope, got swarmed. It was just like the game knows. It's like the GTA traffic AI, right? Like it knows that. Yeah, it knows that you are about to get to something. Let's just throw in a couple of specials in there. Let's just swarm you with all of it. But
the game director,
it was fun.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead's great.
Yeah.
But ready for Back 4 Blood. Come on, guys, make that game already.
Yeah. Dark says, Joe, you were like a crackhead when you didn't play WoW for 3 hours. Anybody got that? WoW? Scratch necks.
That game will do that to you, man. That's the thing.
It will.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That game will suck you in.
But
Number says they cram too much story into too little of screen time for Warcraft movie.
Yeah. Well,
I can see that.
I can see where they could have made like I can see where that movie could have been made in a different way to just allow several chapters, kind of like, you know, not to directly compare it to like Lord of the Rings or something like that, but give you that very edge of your seat. Hey, there's still something to continue there at the very end, which there kind of was, but at the same time, it wasn't hype, right? It wasn't like, oh, I know where this goes in the story. Nope, that was just the end of that chapter.
To see if it could be possible to do a sequel.
Yeah,
it didn't work out.
Yeah, I would like to see something like that, but definitely, I think there's a lot of lore in World of Warcraft, enough to fill.
Oh, there's tons. Yeah,
enough to fill quite a few movie titles there. But whatever. All right.
What do we know?
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna cut it off now. We got the hour of game news. Our first episode back. I guess this would be like 001, right? Because we're doing podcast style now. Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
Yeah, I guess season 1, episode 1.
Episode 1. Just say episode 1.
Okay, I guess. But we'll go from there. If you join the Discord, let us know what you think. We'll make it better. If we think that that's beneficial or whatever.
Unless you say something negative, and then we won't listen.
And then we won't listen to you because it didn't come with a compliment.
Ban you from the Discord altogether.
You're muted.
Harassment.
All right, then. Well, we'll be back again next week. Same time, same channel, same
internet.
Same game news.
Yeah. Unless the end of the world happens, or killer bees finally swarm every single state in the United States, that would suck.
Wasp.
Murder hornets, bro.
Murder hornets.
Murder
Enjoy.
hornets.
Yeah. Now we just need like giant spiders walking across. Like,
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Please no.
walking
I will
across
hide in the
the
basement for the
Utah.
rest of my
Don't say that ever.
You
No.
know.
Yeah.
We're gonna need bigger flamethrowers.
It's like, okay, this is my nightmare. Alright. This is the worst
Alright.
anything ever.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna kill it off. Appreciate everybody for coming.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Hope to see you next week, and then we'll have more for you then. See you later.
Perfect. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye bye.